You know, I understand that some of y'all need some of that extra spice in your life. I mean, look at my life. I was so deep in the YouTube rabbit hole, I was watching the cast of Jujutsu Kaisen singing Reinai Circulation.
せーのでもそんなじゃダメもうそんなじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと
Not gonna lie, that cover slapped though. Anyways, I know many of y'all are on summer break, and after a long day of studying or partaking in your summer break duties, you need a good webtoon or manhwa to mellow out your day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this manhwa list is gonna be so slapping. The next thing you know, it's gonna be 7 a.m. and a buff maid onesan is gonna bring you breakfast.
Ohayo, Onei-chan.
So without any further ado, 2 hands, pop that shit! We're gonna start off this list strong with FFF Class Trash Hero. To be honest, it took me a minute to adjust to this art style because the first time around, I felt like I was reading Roblox the webtoon. However, once you get into the actual story, you get hooked right away. We get introduced to Kang Han-so, who after 11 long years of adventuring, he finally arrives at the Demon King Castle to fight in a final battle. Then, in a very anticlimactic fashion, Hansu yeets the Demon King, grateful that he is done with this journey and finally able to reunite with this Japanese toilet. The gods of this isekai world hit him with the Uno reverse card. The gods went full Asian parent mode by telling him, yeah, you may have killed the Demon King, but you failed in every other category as a hero. I mean, the prime example of you failing is you deadass killed off your whole party. Despite all the pleas of Hansu, the gods teleport the hero back to day 1 of the journey, 11 years ago, erasing all of his weapons and skills, but the only thing left intact is his memories. To make things even worse, he's even assigned with a monitor to track his daily performance. You would think with all of this, Hansu would wake up and start being the hero that he was destined to be. But of course, all the bullshit my man's had to suffer for the 11 past years, he deadass went full Kazuma trash hero mode. My man's pulls up to an Illuminati slave auction like straight out of Redo of Healer. He then proceeds to kill his newly acquired elf slave for EXP points, and then he proceeds to kill the elf princess who's trying to save that elf slave. So when the dust settled down and the monitor checks in for the day, she is straight up mortified.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
I mean, I don't blame her, cause how the fuck are you gonna transform an Ain's Redo of a Healer into a My Hero Academia All Might? At number 2, we have Arcane Sniper. This story follows an unfortunate story of a special force sniper named Ha Li Ha, who gets crippled by an accident and now needs $1.8 million for surgery. Thankfully, he had some really dope ass family members that chipped in to buy him a $19,000 VR contraption for Li Ha to help him get back on his feet, no pun intended. And once Li Ha gets initiated into this world, he is overjoyed out of his mind because he now has the sensation to walk again and just move around. Sadly though, his L's does not stop from his in real life because my mans ends up with the Musketeer class. He deadass about to be sent out with George Washington to fight off Sir 21 Savage in the American Revolutionary War. I mean, this class was so sucky, it takes Li Ha over 1 minute to reload his weapon. So while he's getting his ass beat by Pekora, Li Ha is trying to ram gunpowder into his musket as soon as possible. Not only that, his ammunition is more expensive than the monster he's actually hunting. It seems that Li Ha is at rock bottom, but he kept his head high and he kept on pushing. This perseverance paid off because he found himself in this miracle situation where he was able to one-shot kill this Black Angus Harambe looking ass. Oh shit. Before we continue this video, let's give a moment of silence for our Nobel Peace-winning humanitarian Harambe, for it was his 5th year anniversary of his unfortunate assassination. Thank you. Like I was saying, through this miraculous feat of one-shot killing this huge-ass black rabbit, Leah started to take some massive W's from this point onward. Firstly, he caught the attention of the 9th world highest ranking player, the local baker started to show her buns, and lastly, you got a 15 tall onesan packing you bento boxes like a high school romance anime. Hopefully, Leah will continue to take W's from here on onward, cause how badass would it be if he eventually gets to a point where he pulls out a whole ass Shinon SAO PGM Ultima Ratio anti-tank sniper rifle. At number 3, we got Legend of the Northern Blade. Now this is a unique one out of this list, and many people may be off-put by this series' art style. However, if you love Mujang or Breakers, I can guarantee you 1000% that you will love the series. This series follows a group of warriors called the Northern Heavenly Sect, a group of warriors that has been protecting the known world for 100 years against the evil forces called the Silent Knight. The Northern Heavenly Sect was spearheaded by the 4th generation leader Qin Kwan-ho and his 4 generals. However, one day, this all changed when the Silent Knight mysteriously disappeared and Kwan-ho got betrayed by the 9 Skies, who somehow also persuaded Kwan-ho's generals to join their side. So in classic top 10 anime betrayal moments, Kwan-ho is like, I will surrender if you spare my child, Chin Mu-wan. The 9 Skies consented, so Kwan-ho proceeds to kill himself with his own sword right in front of his devastated son. We then time jump 3 years later, where the Northern Sect now looks like downtown LA, and all the former members are completely gone from the city. Mu-wan, who is 16 at this point, is now busy working on his craft as a blacksmith. Despite now leading a quiet lifestyle, he is constantly monitored by guards sent by the 9 Skies. Even though it may seem Mu-wan is in no position to qualify as the 5th leader of the Northern Sect family, he studies his ancestors' martial arts skills through the layout of the city. This was only possible because his father made him learn the forgotten language of the Lower Moon Kingdom. Mu-wan repeated this routine for many months, when one day he comes across a badly poisoned girl named Eun-ha-sor. After helping her recover, it seemed that there is actually some new joy happening in his life. Honestly, with all their interactions between Ha-sor and Mu-wan, it really hit me with the diabetes. And man, when Mu-wan gave that hairpiece to Ha-sor, shit, that was pretty smooth, my man. However, after one lewd hand-holding scene later, this my youth romantic comedy was short-lived when the demon of chaos pulls up to the city. You could tell the main characters were screwed because this dude yeeted this one chick like he was flicking a fly. Ha-sor takes it for the team and tells Mu-wan to run away as he distracts the demon. As Ha-sor was being strangled to death and we were getting hit with the death flashback PowerPoint, Chad Mu-wan pops out of nowhere, makes the demon release Ha-sor, and says this one-liner: I'm Northern Heavenly Sect's 5th generation leader, Jin Mu-wan. Sheesh! You know you fucked when the martial artist drops their whole Ancestry.com family name on ya. Next up on the list, we have Worn and Torn Newbie. I know y'all love your revenge and redemption story. Well, my friends, this story is for you. This series follows a 35-year-old gambling addict named Lee Yo-jin. Despite playing this VR game Des Ex Machina for 15 years, he is literally still at rock bottom, and on top of that, he owes tons of money to loan sharks. Even though it seemed like a complete lost cause for Yojin, he is miraculously reborn 15 years ago to the beginning stages of this game. Now, this comes to a complete advantage for him because he knows the ins and outs of the game. It's straight up like if a college senior student shows up to a first grade class. It's deadass rigged. And so, Yojin takes full advantage of that, and he's unlocking these random hidden dungeons, and he's ass whooping these KKK wizard looking ass, Spanish Inquisition looking ass dungeon bosses. My man's is so alpha now, he's deadass walking around fully naked like he's at some European nude beach. Now, the story finally turned Subarashi when Yojin encountered the very people that ruined his past life, which was the Yu siblings, who on the surface look like very righteous people, but in reality, these are narcissistic loan sharks that farm for EXP and items using real life people that owed them money. They deadass mining for Bitcoin or something here? But this time around, Yojin had the upper hand knowledge, and he did what every proper Korean man does: retribution. Firstly, he locks in the siblings into a dungeon, and right when the sibling kills the boss, Yojin then steps in and delivers the final blow. Then when it was revealed that this dungeon was actually a double dungeon, Yojin then disappears and Yu Dan-hye gets possessed by the dungeon boss and then proceeds to kill off her brother. Yojin then steps in and goes full on DDR mode on us and kills off the demon-possessed Tae. While Dae was a ghost waiting to respawn, you just see Yojin exposing his full bare ass crack as he's picking up the dropped items. To make things even more savage, Yojin proceeds to upload the whole thing that went down to YouTube. I mean, how embarrassing is it for your party to get disgracefully wiped out by a naked Korean man? This deadass a Kenjong comedy routine. Well, if this savagery and OP nature is your cup of tea, I'm sure you'll really enjoy this series. Okay, now at number 1, and my personal favorite on this list, is a series called SSS Class Suicide Hunter. This series follows the weakest hunter of the city of Babylon called Kim Kongja. Legitly, he spends all of his day simping after the world's strongest hunter called the Flame Emperor. Despite his miserable lifestyle, things sort of turned around for Kongja when he randomly got gifted the S-rank skill, I Want to Be Like You. This skill allowed him to acquire a skill of a person that kills him. Conveniently, Kongja comes across the Flame Emperor, killing Miss Saint after she tries to Bill Cosby him. In response, Kongja is like, hey, that's illegal. But being the actual douche that the Flame Emperor really is, he Roy Mustanged the innocent Kongja. And y'all know what happens when you wrong an innocent Korean man. He goes on a full-blown revenge mission. After acquiring the Flame Emperor's unique skill, Returner's Clockwork Watch, where he's able to return 24 hours prior to his most recent death. So you know what this mad lad did? He killed himself 4,050 times. Moshi Moshi, the Imperial Japanese Kamikaze platoon officer would like to know your location. The reason why Kongja specifically killed himself 4,050 times was that this was right before the Flame Emperor awakened, and he was simply a blue-collar worker by the name of Yu Suha. Then one day when Yu Suha was on his daily routine of solo hunting, Kongja kills him after feigning that he was a fellow injured hunter. And to really bring things to complete satisfaction, he lets wolves feast on the dead body of Suha. With the Flame Emperor out of the picture, how does this new S-Class hunter conduct himself? Does he continue to go on smear campaigns, or does he turn his life completely around and actually become the main character of this timeline? Thankfully, it was the latter. From recruiting the eccentric Isekai Sword Emperor to winning rap battles against orcs, from investing into nobodies before they blow up, to rigging lotteries and winning millions. It was extremely entertaining seeing Kongja making all these big brain Chad-like moves and being the forefront of being potentially one of the first hunters to clear the Tower of Babylon. So there you have it, 5 great titles to keep you entertained. If you guys actually pick up any of these 5 series, let me know down below. Once again, this has been your boy U-Man. Thank you for stopping by. Peace out.